Welcome, Star Wars fans and finance buffs alike. Today, we're unlocking the secrets behind one of the most iconic and profitable franchises in history, Star Wars. But this isn't your usual fan deep dive into lightsabers and Jedi lore. We're talking cold, hard cash. We're pulling back the curtain on how Star Wars transformed from a risky movie idea into a galaxy-spanning empire worth over $70 billion. By the end of this video, you'll be asking yourself, is there any part of our world that Star Wars hasn't conquered?
We're talking a $70 billion empire, folks.
70 billion. Okay, you have my attention. Where do we even begin to uncover that story?
Well, our journey starts back in 1977, a time when, believe it or not, sci-fi was basically box office poison.
Really? I mean, it's hard to imagine that now with how huge sci-fi and fantasy are.
I know, right? So picture this. George Lucas, a young filmmaker, walks into a studio with this wild idea for a space opera.
I can only imagine the studio executives' faces. Sci-fi back then was seen as a risky investment, maybe even a guaranteed flop.
And yet, Lucas had this vision, this passion project that he just knew would work.
And as we all know now, he wasn't just a visionary director. He was also a pretty savvy businessman.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh.
And one of his most brilliant moves, the one that really set the stage for this financial empire, was securing the merchandising rights for Star Wars.
Now that's interesting. Back then, studios didn't really see the value in toys and merchandise, did they?
Not really, no. But Lucas, he was ahead of the curve. He knew there was a galaxy of potential there, and he was determined to tap into it.
And tap into it he did. I mean, think about the iconic Star Wars action figures, the lunchboxes, the t-shirts.
All those kids back then recreating the Death Star trench run in their living rooms. It was a cultural phenomenon, and it translated into serious cash. By 1980, Star Wars toys alone had brought in over $100 million.
Wow, 100 million back in 1980, adjusted for inflation, that's astronomical.
It's mind-boggling, right? And that was just the beginning.
Just a taste of the financial force we're about to uncover. From those early action figures to the sprawling empire it is today, the story of Star Wars' financial success is a wild ride.
And we're going to break it all down, from the merchandising genius of George Lucas to the strategic brilliance of Disney.
Okay, I'm ready to dive in. Tell me more about how this galaxy of profits expanded.
So, let's fast forward a few decades to 2012. Disney makes a bold move and acquires Lucasfilm for a cool $4 billion.
$4 billion. Some people probably thought they were crazy. I mean, they were basically buying a bunch of old movies.
Or that's what some people thought, yeah. But Disney, they weren't just buying movies, they were buying a legacy.
Ah, a legacy, a universe brimming with stories and possibilities, and most importantly, a fan base that spanned generations.
Exactly, a fan base that was hungry for more Star Wars.
And Disney, they knew exactly how to feed that hunger.
Oh, they did. New trilogies, spin-off films, and then, boom, the screaming revelation hit.
Disney was ready. The launch of Disney Plus and The Mandalorian, that was a game changer.
People were signing up for Disney Plus just to watch The Mandalorian. It was a cultural phenomenon, and it proved that Star Wars could conquer the streaming world.
Which brings us to another piece of the puzzle: theme parks. Disney's theme parks are already a huge revenue generator, right?
Oh, massive. Around $20 billion annually. And then they added Galaxy's Edge.
But well you have, my old Padawan.
This is just the beginning.
Galaxy's Edge, that immersive Star Wars land. I've heard it's incredible. People are paying top dollar to live out their Star Wars fantasies.
It's like stepping into a whole other world. You can build your own lightsabers, sip blue milk in a cantina, even fly the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, now I'm getting serious FOMO. I need to experience this myself.
You absolutely do. It's incredible. But think about it from Disney's perspective. Every lightsaber built, every blue milk purchased.
It all adds up. They've created this immersive experience that fans are willing to pay a premium for.
And that's just one example of how fans become investors in this massive Star Wars empire.
Investors, I like that. It really highlights how deeply connected fans are to this franchise.
Because it's more than just watching movies, right? It's about buying the merchandise, playing the video games, experiencing the world in every way possible.
And with every purchase, every interaction, fans are fueling the growth of this empire. It's a cycle of passion and profits, and it's fascinating to see how it all works.
So we've gone from those early action figures to theme parks, streaming shows, and a whole lot more. But there's still so much to uncover about this $70 billion empire.
Okay, I'm hooked. What other surprises does this financial galaxy hold? You know, we've talked about toys and video games and even theme parks, but there is another layer to this financial empire that's pretty fascinating.
Okay, lay it on me. What else is there?
We're talking about the luxury market. Yeah, you heard that right. Luxury within Star Wars.
Luxury Star Wars. I gotta admit, that's not something I've ever really considered. What does that even look like?
Well, think about those high-end collectibles, the limited edition items that go way beyond your average action figure.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Give me some examples.
Picture this, incredibly detailed lightsaber replicas, like museum-quality pieces.
So not the plastic ones I used to duel with my brother in the backyard on.
No, we're talking about serious craftsmanship, rare materials, maybe even a few kyber crystals thrown in for good measure.
Kyber crystals? You're really getting into the lore here.
Yeah.
But seriously, how much are we talking about for these high-end replicas?
Some of these limited edition collectibles can fetch thousands of dollars.
Thousands. Okay, now we're talking serious business.
It's a whole world of high-stakes collecting and investing, driven by those passionate Star Wars fans who want to own a piece of the galaxy.
So it's like those fans are becoming investors in a way.
And that is why you will always lose.
And it goes beyond just lightsabers, too. We're seeing major fashion brands collaborating with Star Wars, creating exclusive clothing lines and accessories.
Wait, seriously? Like designer Star Wars clothes?
Oh, yeah. Remember that Rodarte collection inspired by the gowns from the prequel trilogy?
I vaguely remember seeing something about that. Those were pretty stunning, actually.
Exactly. And then there's Adidas. They've done some pretty cool Star Wars-themed sneakers.
So Star Wars has gone from action figures to high fashion. It's officially infiltrated every corner of our culture.
It really has. You can wear it, you can play it, you can even live it at Galaxy's Edge.
It's woven into the fabric of our society. Which brings us to a really interesting question.
Hit me with it.
What's next for the Star Wars empire? I mean, where does it go from here?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Disney, they've got a whole galaxy of plans, I'm sure. More movies, more shows, maybe even more theme park expansions.
They've definitely mastered the art of turning nostalgia into a money-making machine.
And they show no signs of slowing down. But it makes you wonder, can other franchises replicate this kind of success?
Yeah, that's a good point. What's the secret ingredient that turns a movie or a video game into a cultural phenomenon with this kind of staying power?
Is it just about having cool characters and a compelling story? Or is there something more at play?
It's like trying to capture lightning in the bottle, isn't it?
Exactly. So many factors have to come together just right to create something that resonates with audiences on such a massive scale. And that's what we're going to delve into next. So we've covered a lot of ground, from those early action figures to high-end collectibles, theme parks, and even designer fashion.
It's amazing to see how this franchise has evolved, how it's become this global phenomenon.
But what's really fascinating to me is the psychology behind it all, why Star Wars resonates with us so deeply.
Okay, now you're really getting into my nerdy sweet spot.
Mm.
I've always been intrigued by the power of storytelling, how it can shape our culture and our values.
And Star Wars is a masterclass in storytelling. It taps into these universal archetypes, the hero's journey, the battle between good and evil, the idea of finding your place in a vast universe. These are themes that resonate with people across cultures and generations.
It's like those stories are somehow embedded in our DNA, right? We're hardwired to respond to these epic narratives.
Exactly. And Star Wars takes those timeless myths and wraps them in a package that's both familiar and fantastical. You've got knights and princesses, but they're wielding lightsabers and traveling through hyperspace.
It's the perfect blend of ancient and futuristic, and it just works.
And it's not just the stories themselves, right? It's the world building, the incredible detail that goes into creating this immersive universe.
Every planet, every alien species, every starship has a backstory, a purpose. It's that level of depth and imagination that really draws you in.
And that's part of what makes Star Wars so enduring. It's a universe you can get lost in, explore endlessly, and always find something new.
And let's not forget about the characters. We connect with Luke Skywalker's journey from farm boy to Jedi Knight, with Princess Leia's courage and determination, with Han Solo's roguish charm.
These characters feel real to us, even though they exist in this fantastical galaxy far, far away.
It's like they become part of our extended family, these fictional characters that we've grown up with, shared experiences with.
And when a franchise can forge that kind of emotional connection with its audience, that's when it becomes truly special.
That's when it becomes more than just entertainment. It becomes part of our cultural identity.
And that's what ultimately drives the financial success of a franchise like Star Wars. It's not just about marketing and merchandising, it's about creating something that people genuinely love, something they want to be a part of.
It's about tapping into that deep emotional connection, that sense of belonging and shared experience.
Exactly. And when you can do that, well, the profits tend to follow.
So it's not just about lightsabers and spaceships, it's about the power of storytelling, world building, and creating characters that resonate with audiences on a deep emotional level.
And that's a lesson that applies to any successful franchise, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, Harry Potter, or any other story that captures our hearts and imaginations.
It's about creating something that people want to invest in, both emotionally and financially. It's about building a universe that fans want to be a part of, a world they can escape to and find meaning in.
And that's the real magic of Star Wars, isn't it? It's not just a movie franchise, it's a cultural phenomenon that has touched the lives of millions of people around the world.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring appeal of these epic, mythic narratives.
And I have a feeling that the Force will be strong with this franchise for many years to come.
Well, folks, there you have it. A deep dive into the financial galaxy of Star Wars.
From those humble beginnings back in 1977 to the global empire it is today, The story of Star Wars is a testament to the power of creativity, innovation, and the enduring appeal of a good story.
And who knows what the future holds for this iconic franchise. One thing's for sure, we'll be here to explore every twist and turn along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this journey, everyone.
Until next time, may the Force be with you.
If you enjoyed this journey into the business side of the galaxy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Who knows? Next time, we might uncover the financial secrets behind another beloved franchise.